Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Mr. Sproul, just kind of curious, in your particular area, aerospace, are you competing against any foreign companies that come in and bid on these aerospace contracts for small business at all?
Yes. The companies, that we compete against, based in various parts of the world on defense articles, and have won and lost various contracts with companies against companies in Israel and other countries.
What percentage of the contracts do you believe that are small business contracts are given to companies that are foreign-based or foreign-owned or whatever?
I wouldn't be able to venture a guess on that, but we can try to
significant, or just a few here and there, or?
I think it's significant if you look at the entire amount that would be eligible for small companies to to bid on. Yes.
Do you buy parts from any foreign entities?
No.
Ms. Gentile?
We don't run across in our contract bundling because of DoD. We don't run across a lot of foreign companies. Some of the NATO, we do buy parts periodically from some of the NATO countries. Mm-hmm. Short of that, the bulk of what we do and what we run across and what we see bundled are basically American-made product.
Ms. Hilmer? No? Don't have any experience with that?
No, I don't.
Okay. Mr. Brown?
Congressman, all of our veterans are American-made, so.
I'm talking about competing. When you bid for something, whatever the item is that you're bidding for, or the contract you're bidding for, how much competition do you see from foreign entities?
Between our veteran small-owned businesses, I wouldn't be able to venture a guess into what they see.
Well, thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate your efforts and all your sacrifices for our country. But okay, just kind of curious as well with enforcement. So I sit on another committee, Government Oversight and Reform, and the other day we were talking in that committee about the problem with a lot of the contractors who, for one reason or another, have violations of one kind or another, and the lack of enforcement by the government on these people when we find them to be in violation of whatever. It could be themselves have records, felony records. It could be the contract itself were not performed up to standards, and yet they're giving another contract. Have you seen that in your businesses? How much activity do you see along that line, a competition of people who have those kinds of problems where there's not an enforcement action that's taken to take them out of the picture? And again, you have to compete against that type of company over and over again. Have you seen any of that at all, any of you?
I think we see in the contract bundling arena that some of the large contractors continue to get fined by the federal government. They continue to be in violation of what some of the regulations are. They continue to intimidate the small businesses in numerous cases, but they continue to win the bundles. And nothing seems to be enforced by it.
Who's the enforcer in your situation? Who should do the enforcement on that?
I believe it should be the Defense Logistics Agency, because they're the ones that are mandating the bundles that are coming out of Defense Supply Center in Columbus, Ohio.
Have any of you lost a contract as a result of bundling by a larger contractor who sort of squeezed you out of the process?
Absolutely.
Anybody else? All of you have? What was the result of that? Did you go back and complain? Did you file a complaint with the proper authorities, or did you go back to the contractor and say, hey, you're not doing things as per the rules, and therefore be sure you contact me next time? Or what kind of action did you take? Any at all? Ms. Hilmer?
Well, I'd like to tell you about an experience I had with the United States Army. And they bundled some contracts together, and a large prime contacted us and said, oh, we need you on our team, Hub Zone, we need to check that box. And so we joined their team, and they won the contract along with several other large primes. And we haven't seen a single task order come out, because the prime collects the task orders and the prime decides who on the team gets them. So I don't even get to see any of the work that comes out. And I used to have a significant amount of business in the Army, and now that has gone way down because all of the work that I was doing is coming out on these task orders, and the prime is taking them.
Did you get paid anything at all? In other words, just to lend your support to this, your name to this? No. You
Would the gentleman yield?
Sure.
But you incurred in a lot of expenses, didn't you? Any time that you're going to participate in any of this subcontracting with Prime.
We did incur expenses, yes.
I assume you had to go through the bid process,
Thank
so
you for
therefore
yielding.
you incurred quite a bit of time and expense just to put your bid together.
That is correct.
And you weren't paid for that at all. So you're out all of this, really.
Plus the business that I used to have.
I see him over my time. Thank you, Madam Chair.